Hey guys, welcome back to the Sideline Power office. As you can see, the 2021 season is well underway. We got a lot of our different products set up, ready to go. As you know, we always strive to provide the latest and greatest technology. So today, I want to show you what's new for 2021. Let's head up to the studio. So we are extremely excited to announce two new headset systems we're offering this year from Coachcom, the Cobalt and the Cobalt Plus system. My favorite feature of both of these systems is that they come with the extremely comfortable and lightweight Smart Boom Pro headset. Flip to mute microphone, very comfortable, easy to use, trusted by 97% of the FBS programs. So if you're watching a game on Saturday, most likely they're wearing this exact same headset. Let's start with the Cobalt. Very easy to use, basic 2-channel system. Good for a smaller coaching staff. 10-hour battery life. Just easy to use, very simple, no bells and whistles. The Cobalt Plus, you see a very sleek belt pack. This gets up to 6 channels. A lot easier to expand, customize to the exact setup that you need for your coaches. Cobalt Plus also has the ability for a coach to player receiver. Strap this on one of your players, you're able to communicate through the headsets right on the field during practice, anything like that. 16-hour battery life, and one of the best systems on the market. If you're looking for more information on any of these systems, feel free to give us a call, shoot us an email. I'm Mark with Sideline Power. Remember, stay powered up.
Hello everybody, welcome to Ballin W Bill. I want to first of all thank Sports Boards and Sideline Power for their constant support of Ballin W Bill. And today I want to welcome an interview with a good friend of mine, Ryan Gottula, here at Lincoln Southeast, and enjoy the interview because he's a very good coach and a good man. Awesome. Well, you kind of have a young man that I think's your son that plays for you, and signed with. I don't think he's officially signed, but what do you want to call it?
He's committed to Nebraska.
To your
yes.
alma mater, because you ran track there, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. See, you didn't think I knew that. You were a speedster. Anyway, so what it's been like coaching him? Talk about your son.
Oh, it's been great coaching him. I guess you would have to ask him, but I think he's enjoyed playing in Dad's program. But he's a kid that's been around football since he was born. Going to the weight room and being at practices and games, and so it's been a pleasure to work with him and coach him. And I don't coach his position, so he's not around Dad all the time, but really glad he's in our program. He's a hard worker and really talented player, so we're glad to have him in our program.
When did he first outgrow you, Ryan?
Probably middle school. Yeah, he passed me up in middle school.
He's a good sized young man.
So yeah, he's a big boy, and like I said, he works hard.
Does he body slam you at all or anything?
No.
He still
I've still got that old man strength, so I can go to that if I need to.
All right, that's good. Got to tease you a little bit because I think I might know that kid's dad. Anyway, you've coached at Lincoln Southeast now for how long, Coach?
2009 was my
your West Side.
2009 was my first year coaching at Southeast, and I've been the head coach since 2011.
So I look at your program as one of the historical Class A programs in Nebraska. I look at you, Prep, West Side, especially you guys in Lincoln, especially. Prep in Omaha, they've won a lot of games too, and you competed. You look at the history of Southeast. Prep and Southeast have played for the state championship quite a few times. So
yeah.
Talk about your history. I mean, you have a lot of guys, and they seem to always go to Nebraska. How do you pull that off?
We're first of all, we're really proud of our tradition and history of football at Lincoln Southeast. We've had some obviously great players come through the program, great coaches, long before me, and I think it's just a situation where we've had a pretty rich tradition and culture that's been established, and we've tried to do a great job of keeping that culture in place. And the kids, we want to work hard, we want to be physical, and we want to play the game the right way. And so we just try to do that year in and year out. And I think, Southeast has been really consistent with that for a long period of time.
I mean, because you look at Jake Cotton, you can go through the list, even before Jake, the kids from Lincoln Southeast that went to Nebraska had stellar careers there. So, there's a lot of history with those kids playing in high school, having great careers, and then going on and having great careers at the university.
Yeah, and it's nice for them to, be able to obviously be in their hometown and play college football there. fortunately for me, that's what my son picked
yeah,
that. So it's going to be nice for us as parents. But I think kids in our program. We've had a lot of kids go to other programs as well, and so we've been fortunate that we've had kids, that have been able to take advantage of that opportunity to play football at the next level, but also get their education. And if they can use the game of football to help them do that, that's what we're in this for as coaches. So,
I was, you lost some key contributors last year, like we always do. Seniors graduate, they, no matter high school, college, that's one bad thing that we all go through. Coaching those levels is you're going to lose your kids eventually. They're going to graduate and move on. So what are the main things you're excited about this year going into the fall with all the kids coming back?
We do have players on both sides of the ball that have experience. Like I said, the injuries we dealt with last year, I guess one positive of it was that we were able to get some younger kids some playing time, and so those kids have experience, and they played against some really good football teams, so they understand what it takes to play at that level. I think, on the defensive side of the ball, we returned a number of guys with experience and was really happy with where our defense was at during our team camp. And on the offensive side of the ball, obviously we have a running back with a lot of experience and a couple of linemen who I think can do some pretty special things. So it all starts with being able to run the football and stop the run, and I think that's an area where, we can maybe hang our hat on, especially early in the season.
What do you think your team's greatest challenge this season is when you look at this next season and you look at the schedule? What are your biggest challenges? Because you know how we all mark them as coaches. I'll sit in those meetings. I know you have too many of them. And you look through your schedule. What do you look at when you look at your schedule? What are your biggest challenges?
Well, right now our focus right now is just on trying to get better, get faster, get stronger, and then as we get into July, we start to lock in a little more on the schedule. Obviously, our schedule this year, we start off with an outstanding team in Elkhorn South, and then we come back the next week and play Lincoln East, who is a tremendous football program as well. And so our kids are going to find out right away what we're all about those first 2 weeks, and that's good for us. We're going to get to, kind of have that measuring stick of exactly where we're at and what we need to do to progress throughout the season. And so we open with a great football team, so we'll have to be ready to play week one.
Well, I mean, you look at that might, be one of the games. You look at that, when you look at the opening week schedule, that's one of the games of the week in my mind. You two top teams playing right off the bat.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Like I said, we have a ton of respect for the way they do things in their program and just the success they've had in their program as well.
Okay, now you look at the whole schedule. What games have you circled that are important keys to the season? I know we all do that. Don't be, I mean, I know you look at every game's tough. I know that, and you got to say that to the kids. But what are the key things you look at next year? What key games?
Well, obviously your district games are very important just because of the way things are set up. As far as, we always want to get to the playoffs and give ourselves a chance, to get to the tournament and do well when you get there. But we honestly, we really just try to focus on one at a time. And when you have Elkhorn South and East to open the season, that's obviously one that, we got to be prepared for week one. We want to come out and play well against a good football team.
Coach, we're going to kind of finish up this segment and get you on the board and see that highly intelligent Coach Gottula that I've known for a long time. But, I appreciate you answering all those questions candidly. I mean, that's cool. I mean, I think you're one of the top teams coming back in the state. I think it'll be interesting to see as the season goes how injuries map out and all that neat stuff. But I look for you to be in the thick of things, Coach. Nobody putting pressure on your back. I just think you'll be in the thick of things. I think you got a lot of good returners, and I know how well coached out there at Lincoln Southeast.
Appreciate it. Our kids are working hard, so.
I know they are. Anyway, we'll be back. Thanks a bunch, Coach.
Guys, if you don't have anything better to do, why don't you go set up the Raven? We have a coach come in to take a look at it later. Sure. The Raven end zone camera is our top-of-the-line end zone camera system. It's easy to set up and even easier to use, and it's trusted by some of the top professional football teams in the country. Manufactured in the USA by the inventor of the end zone camera, this system is like no other. Its self-pan tilt control handle makes one-person operation a breeze. It has been proven for over 20 years to be safe, sturdy, and reliable. It shouldn't take a normal person more than 5 minutes to set up, but with these interns, hopefully they'll be out there all day so we can finally have some peace and quiet here in the office. office.
Hey, can we get some help out here real fast?
No, I'm not helping you guys set it up. You need to learn on your own.
It's already set up. We just need a lookout right now.
A lookout?
Check it out. It only took us about 5 minutes to put up.
Wow.
Yeah, we're just spying on the neighbors right now.
Ah! No! Oh! No, God! Just as a disclaimer, the Raven and any sideline power product should only be used for athletic events. Do not spy on your neighbor. Please use responsibly. Thank you.
We're back here with our session with Coach Gottula, kind of getting him on the board and seeing. I've known him for a long time. I just want to show everybody what a genius this man is. Anyway, Coach, so talk about your staple playing offense that everybody knows this is his staple, and why it is your staple.
You know, for us, I think that depends a little bit on your personnel. We like to run the football. We're kind of a gap scheme team. So depends year to year, our personnel. You know, we used to be pretty traditional I formation, fullback, power, ISO, even a little fullback trap, which you don't see very much of anymore. Counter's always a play, though, that's been a pretty, you know, a staple play in our offense. So if we were going to run counter, you know, I think everybody runs counter, but, you know, if we're going to run counter against, I'll just put an even front up here. And if we're running it here to the, we'll even go one back here. We'll run it one back or two back, but if we were running it out of a one back set here, and we're running it maybe to the strong side or to the tight end side against an even front, we would actually arc release our Y or our tight end to the force player, probably an outside backer. And then starting on the play side, their rules are pretty simple. They're going to gap down, and so our right tackle would be blocking down on the 3 technique. He would actually get a double team from the guard, and they would double to the backside linebacker, and then we're pulling backside guard and tackle. So our center would block back for the pullers, so he'd block back on the nose. We would pull the backside guard, and we look to try to kick the defensive end, but you know, it depends on how they play that. If they want to wrong arm it, we may, you know, log that and go around, but we look to kick. And then our second puller, our backside tackle, is pulling around and turning up for the play side linebacker. In a one back set like this, since we don't have the backside end accounted for, we would most likely read that. So our back would take a counter step and then be following the second puller. Our quarterback would square up on this backside defensive end here, and that would be his read, where he could potentially pull that if you know, we get the backside end chasing.
Right.
So that's a play that, you know, I think a lot of teams run and run really well, but that's, you know, been a pretty staple play in our offense, whether it's one back or even two back, where we have the fullback filling backside.
So West Side, you ran that at two backs, didn't you, a lot?
We did.
Yeah.
We were more traditional two back.
Play,
yeah, when I coached at West Side.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's put the odd defense up there. How do you
Sure.
attack an odd defense in your schemes? What do you try to? What do you look for when you're playing an odd defensive team?
Honestly, you know, we try to stay with our base run schemes. We try to stay with schemes that are going to be good against an odd or even front. And during the summer months, we spend a lot of time on that with our offensive linemen, as far as understanding, is it an odd or even front, and being able to run those plays against both fronts. If we were going to get more of an odd front and we were going to run counter, so I guess I'll just,
Yeah, I'd stay with your base play.
yeah, we would. It wouldn't really change too much for us. You know, play side, if I were to draw the same play, we're going to bring our tight end down now, so we're going to get a double team with our tight end and our play side tackle in this case. So they're going to double to the linebacker. We're going to get another double from the play side guard and center to the backside linebacker. We're still going to pull and kick the end man on the line of scrimmage, or we're looking to kick, and then we're pulling our second puller, and he's going to have whatever is left in that case. You know, the one thing that about this play is, you know, formations can kind of dictate, you know,
Right.
How you want to run it, whether it's one back or two back sets. But really, we try to keep, you know, our run game simple enough to where we can run it, you know, our base plays against an odd or even look.
Now, if this guy closes, then do you try to log him, or what do you try to do, and then bounce it out for you in the, you know, if the end, you can't kick him.
Yeah, and a lot of
follows the
teams
double
will do
team,
that.
yeah.
A lot of teams will do that. The end man on the line of scrimmage, they may try to wrong arm it or really squeeze that, and so
Right.
we'll have our guard log that, and then the tackle and back will just go
They'll bounce it out, right?
outside.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that play. I've always liked counter.
Yep.
Do you when you have two back here, do you worry about it closing down to the quarterback if he has to pull it? I mean, or what do you try to do?
So yeah, if we were, I guess if we were running two back, I'll put quarterback, and
Okay. Now
if we were going to run two back, then we'd have our fullback would be filling backside,
Right.
and he would come right off of the second puller there, and we'd have a counter step
Right.
coming back play side, and then we would have our quarterback. He would actually help hold the backside with
Right.
the boot, and
Okay.
we would
That's hard to
want to
run
have
out.
play action off of
If
that,
they got
obviously.
this guy line, it's hard to run it out of one back in it if you.
Yeah, and a lot of teams are giving you more of the tight front, I think, now with that odd look. So they're getting these guys inside shoulder on the tackles, and sometimes that can make it a little tougher, especially if you have some good players at those positions. It can be tough to
Then
get
you got
them
that
taken care of.
Buck linebacker up on the line too, which causes
Yeah.
an issue unless you got the filler
So-
backside. Yeah.
And hopefully you got a passing game to get a few guys out of the box.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
because you got them in the box there then when you
Yeah.
get that lineup. Yeah. Okay. Versus the even front, what is your other top play? I know you like the counter, and I love the counter against even front. But what is your other top play that you like to run?
As far as run game is
or
concerned,
pass game, anything against an
pass
even
game.
front?
I think one thing about the odd front that we've seen is I think teams can bring a lot more pressure against you sometimes out of the odd front, or
There you go.
bring pressure in
Right.
different ways, and so we've really tried to focus on making sure our protections are sound against that. You said an even front, Bill?
Yeah. What do you?
Okay.
Because now you're back.
So
and you just kind of
you want one back or two back, or does it matter?
I mean, I think the even front, one back gives even fronts. You know what I'm saying? I just always think
Yeah.
because they're
So,
four. And
I guess
you
another-
don't blitz as much. I mean, it's harder to blitz out the even front. Where the odd front, you can bring them from all over which you watch Waverly. He brings them from everywhere. He's in that odd front all the time, and man,
Yeah, and we're starting to see a lot of, some, I guess I wouldn't say a lot, but some 3-3 stack now as well, where
you can
you're
do
not sure always where it's coming from.
Yeah.
So, we've had to adjust how we protect against things like that as well. I guess as far as the run game is concerned, counter's a big play for us. We'll also run some trap, some one-back trap. Obviously, we used to when I was at Westside, we had some pretty good fullbacks, and we'd run fullback trap, but we'll run one-back trap as well, where, we're just going to trap. Usually we want to trap a 3 technique.
Correct.
So starting on the play side, we'll tell the tight end he just has to protect inside. Play side tackle, he will get flat to get to linebacker. Play side guard, he will go all the way to the backside linebacker. Once again, we'll block back for the puller with our center, and then we're pulling to kick out the first man outside the guard. That's our trap block. And then backside, we're just hinging the backside with our tackle, and running trap here with one back. And so that was
Does
a
your
pretty good
quarterback
play
step
for us
up
last
and
year.
Time up with him. Is that how he does that?
Yeah,
team-wise?
it's very similar to how we would run counter. Obviously he's not necessarily reading the backside end here because we're blocking him, but we'll make it look once again similar to how we would on counter, and we would want him to
Timing
carry
right
out
in there, yeah.
carry out a fake here as well. So
I've always liked the trap because same thing. The fullback trap is always important. So if you can run that out of one back in those even fronts, it's tough.
yeah, and that was a good play for us last year. So
What are this is a question good for you here. What are the defensive things people do defensively, adjustments that bother you the most in a game? You get in a game and they've adjusted and they're
things that
doing
we
something.
have to
what
really
is your
adjust to.
Yes. What are your kind of thinking? What things concern you the most?
I would say, when ends are playing counter maybe different, it's an adjustment for our players to figure out exactly how they're playing it, whether we want to kick the end or we want to try to log him and bring the second puller around. And so you usually try to figure that out in film study the week before, how they're going to play that. But good teams are going to give you some changes during the game, and so being able to relay that information to your kids, I think, is really important so that they're able to adjust. And then, like I said, I think with a lot of the odd defenses we see now, just understanding where they want to bring pressure from and how we want to protect the quarterback. Hopefully you're staying out of those third and long situations, but sometimes if you get in third and long, you can get some pretty exotic pressures that you start to get, and you want to make sure that you're sound in how you protect those. So those are some things that I think have changed, at least for us, that we've noticed over the last few years, is the number of pressures that you get in those odd front defenses.
Oh, I know. I mean, I think that's why people run the odd a lot of times, is so they can bring those pressures and give the offensive line coaches fits.
For sure. Yeah.
When you look at all this, and are you more of a? Do you consider yourself, as you've evolved as a coach, more of a drop back passer coach, or are you still a big play action guy? Because when you're at Westside, you play action people to death and hurt them, but I've also seen you do a lot more. So have you evolved at all, or are you still really your play action pass is your key behind your run game?
Yeah, I think with 7-on-7 becoming more prevalent in the summers, I think not just us, but a lot of teams have diversified what they're doing with their drop back passing game, and it's a little more sophisticated, I guess.
Yeah.
Just in the different concepts that you get in the drop back passing game. We still want to run the ball and stop the run, and so we want to be a good play action team. But I would say we have a few more drop back concepts, just because of the fact that with 7-on-7s, we're working on that stuff more during the summer months.
Well, as I've watched high school progress in Nebraska since I've lived up here, I think that's the biggest change I've seen, is more drop back game than you used to. When I first came here, it was a ton of play action and everything off the zone read and play action, but now you actually see teams in games, not just 7-on-7, doing the 3-step and the 5-step a lot more than they used to.
I agree.
I think that, yeah. Have you enjoyed that at all? Because I coached one of your quarterbacks that you had. And,
he threw the ball a lot for you, Bill.
He did. He had the cannon, though.
Yes, he did.
I noticed that in high school.
And he was a very intelligent
quarterback
as well.
Yeah,
but,
he was.
Yeah. How many times do you let him throw the ball a game?
About 60,
50?
65.
60. Okay. Yeah.
He liked that.
He was a good one.
Okay, I got a good question. It's 4th and goal on the 3-yard line. You need a touchdown to win the game. What is the main play you're calling, Coach?
4th and goal on the 3-yard line, and we have to have a touchdown to win the game.
You got to have a touchdown to win it. You need this touchdown to get in the playoffs.
I guess it would probably depend on how the flow of the game is going. Obviously, if we're running the ball well, we might call a run play in that situation. If I got a quarterback that runs pretty well, I'm probably going to give him some type of play where I put him on the edge and give him an opportunity to throw or run. So probably some type of play action boot, and where he has a couple different options to throw, but he can run it as well. So I guess it depends on who you have at that quarterback position, how I would call that play.
I agree. When I look at those tough calls, I'd much rather have a 4th and 3 than a 4th and 12 any day of the week.
For sure.
When you get those 3rd and 12s or 4th and 12s, and you're like going, "What do you got, Coach?" Well, it's kind of a magic trick. Let's pull it out of the hat.
Just got a few in the playbook for that. Yeah.
4th and 3, you got some options.
Yeah.
Or 3rd and 3.
But yeah, to answer your question, I would probably have some type of run pass option, especially if I have a quarterback that is a talented athlete. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. We'll be right back. Thanks, Coach, for the time here. I appreciate all your. I do. It's good football. Thank you.
You bet.
Hey, welcome back with Ballin Bill here and Coach Gottula from Lincoln Southeast. Known Coach a long time. Known him when I was at Dana and I was out recruiting his quarterback at Westside, Marcus Slodick, excuse me. He was a thrower, good arm. He play action. He needed to drop back him a little bit more, but always I went to camps with Coach. Got to know him real well. I've thought the world of you. I remember thinking when we used to talk football going up and down. What school did we go to that time? We rode with Marty and we talked.
I think we went to Minden, Nebraska for a coach's clinic.
Yes.
Yep.
And we both were speaking.
I think it was Minden. Yes.
Yeah, and we rode with Coach
Kaufman.
Marty, Coach Kaufman, I've known a long time too. Heck, he coached me in high school, so that's how long I knew him. So
sure.
But anyway, Coach Marcus, tell us a little bit about Marcus, because he was a heck of a quarterback for us at Dana. He owned some records there. And,
funny story. Marcus, actually, my first year teaching would have been, I think, the fall of 2000. Marcus was an 8th grader, and I taught at Westside Middle School. He was in my homeroom. So he was one of the first students I ever had in class, and, really progressed really well as a thrower. Obviously, he was a good athlete as well, but just what I remember about Marcus, just a really intelligent kid that was, loved football, and would get into the playbook and make sure he understood the offense, and worked hard every day to make himself a better player, and really turned into a outstanding high school player and college player as well.
He did. He impressed the heck out of me, especially his senior year. All the things he did for you, bootlegging, and good athlete. And he came to Dan, and of course we were more of a drop back game. He adjusted right. Even he played as a freshman, even Tommy. So I mean, he fit in right away, and excellent quarterback.
Tough kid too.
Oh, tough kid. Now he's a lawyer in town. I mean, so he shows his intelligence. He's smarter than the two of us.
For sure.
Became a PhD and a lawyer.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've known Coach a long time, and think the world of him. He's a good teacher and a good mentor of men. And I'm so happy when you look at time where we start, and now you're a famous coach at Lincoln Southeast and done very well for yourself and your family, and I'm proud of you. And I appreciate knowing you. And
thanks, Bill.
every time I see you, it's always good to see you. Anytime I see old Coach G, it's always good to see you. But
you bet.
I'm so proud of what you've done with these young men today, and watched all the good things you've done at Lincoln Southeast, Coach.
Thank you.
And,
it's been fun.
Yeah, you do a heck of a job.
Thanks.
But anyway, we're going to finish this segment with our famous, Coach knows me, I was a pro, just take this chair and wrap it over somebody's head. But anyway, as we're leaving today, thanks, Coach Gottula. Hush, hush, hush.